You're in the middle of an argument and suddenly you start doubting yourself. Wait, did I actually say that? Did I remember it wrong? 5 minutes ago, you were sure you were right, but now your brain feels foggy and you're apologizing for something you didn't even do. That just happened because someone used a trick on you. And the scariest part, they probably didn't even know they were doing it. These tricks aren't magic. They're not complicated. They're tiny shifts in how people talk, act, and respond that make you feel confused, guilty, or small without you realizing it's happening. And once you know what to look for, you'll see them everywhere. At work, in your family, even in your own head. Think of your brain like a phone with a cracked screen protector. It still works fine, but there are weak spots, little cracks where something can slip through. These tricks target those cracks. They exploit the shortcuts your brain takes to save energy, because your brain doesn't want to think about every single thing. It wants to guess, to assume, to trust patterns. And manipulative people know exactly which buttons to press to make your brain do what they want without you noticing. Here's the first one. Someone asks you a favor. You say no, then suddenly they're acting hurt, not angry, just sad, like you let them down. And now you feel guilty, even though you did nothing wrong. That's guilt tripping. They're handing you a feeling that doesn't belong to you and making you carry it. The trick works because your brain hates making people sad, so instead of standing your ground, you fold. You say yes just to make the bad feeling stop. Number two, someone keeps saying you're remembering things wrong. You said you'd be home by 6. No, you said 7. I'm sure you said 7. Even when you know you didn't, they say it so confidently that you start wondering if maybe you're the confused one. That's gaslighting. They're rewriting the story and betting that you'll trust their version more than your own memory. And after enough times, you do. Your brain starts second-guessing itself on everything. 3. Someone showers you with attention, texts you all day, calls you perfect, makes you feel like the center of the universe. Then suddenly they go cold. No explanation, just silence. Now you're panicking. What did I do wrong? That's love bombing followed by withdrawal. They give you a high, then yank it away. Your brain gets addicted to the high, and you'll do anything to get it back, even ignore red flags the size of billboards. 4. You're talking to someone and they keep agreeing with little things you say. Yeah, totally, I get that. Makes sense. You start feeling comfortable, like they're on your team. Then they sneak in the thing they actually want, and you agree without thinking. That's pacing and leading. They match your rhythm first to lower your guard, then steer you where they want you to go. Your brain thinks, well, they agreed with me before, so this must be fine too. Here's number 5. Someone gives you two bad options and acts like you have to pick one. Do you want to work late tonight or come in this weekend? Neither. But now your brain is stuck choosing between two things you hate instead of saying no to both. That's a false choice. They're controlling the frame. And most people don't even notice because once options are in front of you, your brain automatically starts comparing them instead of questioning if you should pick either. Why does this stuff work so well? Because your brain is lazy. Not in a bad way, just efficient. It doesn't want to analyze every conversation like a detective. It wants to trust, to move fast, to assume people mean well. And most of the time, that's fine. But manipulative people know that. They know if they act confident, your brain will believe them. If they act hurt, your brain will feel responsible. If they give you a pattern, your brain will follow it. That's why telling someone just don't fall for it doesn't work. You're not falling for anything. Your brain is doing exactly what it was built to do. The trick isn't dumb. You're not dumb. The trick is just faster than your awareness. 6. Someone keeps moving the goalpost. You finish a task, they say it's not good enough. You redo it, still not enough. The target keeps shifting, so you're always chasing and never winning. That's how they keep control, because if you're always trying to prove yourself, you never stop and ask, why am I doing this? 7. They compare you to someone else. Why can't you be more like them? They're so organized, so responsible, so fun. Now you feel inadequate, like you're failing at being a person. That's triangulation. They pit you against a real or imaginary third person to make you feel small and desperate to measure up. 8. You bring up something that hurt you. Instead of listening, they flip it. Oh, so I'm the bad guy. I'm always wrong, aren't I? Suddenly, you're comforting them and your problem disappears. That's deflection. They take your pain and bounce it back as their victimhood. Your brain gets confused, forgets what you were upset about, and starts damage control instead. 9. They say something mean, then smile and say, "I'm just kidding, relax." But it didn't feel like a joke. Now you're wondering if you're too sensitive. That's a cover insult. They get to hurt you and make you feel crazy for being hurt. Your brain ties itself in knots trying to figure out if you're allowed to feel bad.
So, what do you actually do when someone pulls one of these? You name it, out loud or in your head. The second you feel that weird guilt, that confusion, that sudden need to prove yourself, pause. Say, that's guilt tripping, that's gaslighting, that's deflection. The moment you label it, the trick loses power, because now your brain isn't guessing, it knows what's happening. Another thing, trust the feeling in your stomach. If something feels off, it is. Your brain might get confused, but your body doesn't lie. That tightness in your chest, that knot in your gut, that's your system saying something's wrong here. Don't talk yourself out of it. Don't rationalize it away. Just notice it. That feeling is data. You can also buy time. When someone's trying to rush you into a decision, into agreeing, into feeling bad, just say, "I need to think about it." Most manipulation relies on speed, on catching you off guard. Slowing down breaks the trick. It gives your brain a chance to catch up and go, "Wait, hold on." And here's the hardest one. Stop explaining yourself so much. Manipulative people love when you over-explain because every word you say is another thread they can pull. No is a full sentence. I can't is enough. You don't owe anyone a dissertation on why you feel the way you feel. These tricks don't make someone evil. A lot of people use them without knowing. Maybe because someone used them on them first. Maybe because it's the only way they learn to get what they need. But that doesn't mean you have to let it work. You can understand why someone does something and still protect yourself from it. The weirdest part about learning these tricks? You start seeing them in yourself. That time you guilt-tripped your friend into coming out. That time you deflected instead of apologizing. That time you played victim to avoid responsibility. And maybe that's the real point. These tricks aren't just out there. They're in here too. And the only way to stop falling for them is to admit you've used them. What if protecting yourself from manipulation isn't about building walls? What if it's about getting so honest with yourself that no one else's story can override your own?